I'm going to make a bread mold. This is a piece of toast bread, and I'm going to make a mold for that in 1:12. For that I took this piece of bread and I'm going to measure it. It's 9.5 and 9 centimeters wide and tall. So 9.5 and 9. So I rolled this piece of clay out in a setting 2. And this is just a piece of scrap clay that I'm going to use. And it was 9.5 and 9 centimeters. So I am going to take 9.5. That's right here. And making a cut like that. So I have 9.5. And then I am going to make the 9. So I have my piece of bread right there. And it's always a good idea to have your original lying besides. So I have that right next to me. And I'm going to take a few things here for making my bread piece. First I'm going to round off the corners. Of course the corners are rounded. Something like that. And even the sides of the bread have some indents here and there. So I'm just going to make a few lines. And when I'm happy with the texture on the top of my bread, yeah, the colors are really off, but don't look at them. But when you're happy with the texture, you bake it and make a mold. I baked my little bread piece here and made a mold of it. And now I'm just going to take a piece of my bread colored clay and I'm going to put it into my mold, and I'm going to squeeze it in there really good so that I get all the texture of it in there, cutting off the excess clay. And I'm actually going a bit deeper here and cutting off a little more than the excess clay, like that. And then I'm going to take some of my tools and I'm going to texture the top here just as well. And you can either leave it in the mold while baking so that you have the texture on both sides of the bread, or you can take it out of the mold and give it some colors before you bake it. So I have my piece of bread with texture on both sides, and now I can put on whatever I like to. Before I bake it, I can bake it and then put on my bread things. You can also make a cane for this, or you just roll the clay, a color of clay you want for your bread, and shape a piece of bread for it. And it's okay if the bread piece here would be a tiny bit smaller than your mold. And then you dust this piece of bread with the bread color on the outside and cut slices of it. I am going to do that with a bit of this one. I think I have all too much here, so I'm just taking some of it. And it can be easier to use your finger for this than a pencil. When I'm happy, I'm going to take the first no, I think my first slice is all fine. So I'm going to slice off a piece of the bread, taking my mold, and I'm going to squeeze my bread in here as good as I can. And again, I'm going to make textures on the top side of the bread. By using this method, you will get the texture on each side of the bread. After baking, I have had a bit trouble about that, so this is just one way to do it. But that's one way to make bread slices. So that was what I wanted to show you. Happy crafting!